daughter just did it. And she said how she couldn't fly and then waited for me. So she said,
Mesdames et messieurs, chers amis, bonsoir. Je m'appelle Matt Davison et je suis très heureux de devenir président de la Société canadienne de mathématiques appliquées et industrielles. Notre société a plusieurs de bonnes choses et nous avons grand but pour les années prochaines. Now you learned why the amount of French you learned in school in Ontario is enough to immunize you against ever learning French again. Okay. So, it is indeed my great honor, and I'm humbled to be named the president of our society for the next 2 years. I follow in big footsteps of Ray Spiteri, who has done a fantastic job leading our society for the last 2 years, and Avian Freegard. And Avian Freegard for the 2 years prior to that. It's also my great joy to be a part of a fantastic executive team of the CAIMS board with Lucy Campbell, Justin Wan, and Luciano Buono, as well as the gentleman I just mentioned. We've heard a lot of plans for our society that Ray revealed at the AGM yesterday, and I wanted to say that we've developed these plans as a team, and that's the sort of plan I see as well. I do want to add that I see our discipline at a bit of a turning point. There are many new areas of applied mathematics that I see joining us. At this meeting, we had data science as a new session and learned some really interesting things about what's going on in that area. Next year in Ryerson, there's going to be a discrete math session. Again, a sort of frontier area for our discipline, and I think it's great to see things grow. I also really like that at this meeting we had many folks from industry. I think we do have the name industrial in our society's title, and we need to continue to honor that and build on that. Finally, I think it's important for us to continue to publicize what we do to the larger world and to try to recruit people at the earliest stages of their career, even when they're still in high school, to think about applied mathematics as a good thing to do. I think there's never been more opportunities for people with strong quantitative skills, and unfortunately at the same time, perhaps there's never been as few people interested in gaining those quantitative skills, and our society needs to be part of fixing that. But this isn't about plans tonight. This is about celebrating what we've done, and I want to begin by issuing some thanks to the folks who have put on what I believe has been a really fantastic CAIMS 2017 meeting here in Halifax, and I'm actually going to ask them to come up. So if David Iron, Shannon Fung, Theodore Kolkolnikov, Paul Muir, and our fantastic desk staff, Marjorie Wong and Jinwei Jin, could all come up, that would be great.
You've been taking everything. You should do it.
There is a plaque which says that CAIMS was hosted at Dalhousie, which it is. Of course, we should also recognize that Paul is a proud faculty member at St. Mary's, and so let's not forget that. But I am going to pass on the Dalhousie plaque to Theodore, and let's just have a minute for a little photograph. Thanks a lot, guys. It was a great job.
questions are much more.
The next thing I want to do is to recognize our prize winners. The winner of the CAIMS Research Prize was James Fung from UBC. He is not at the banquet, and he received his plaque after his keynote address yesterday. The next person I want to honor is the 2015 Doctoral Dissertation Award winner, Wilton Nicola. He gave a very nice public lecture on, it's all a bit of a blur for me, but I think it was on Tuesday. Anyway, Wilton has his bachelor's degree in neuroscience from University of Toronto and did his PhD in applied mathematics at Waterloo with Sue Ann Campbell. He's got a sort of, he's doing a postdoc in computational neuroscience at Imperial College London. His PhD thesis contained 5 publications, and that doesn't count the 2 other papers he wrote that he didn't bother putting into his PhD. The citation on his plaque states that for wide-ranging and insightful contributions to the study of the dynamics of large-scale neural models obtained by a creative integration of analysis and computation. So Wilton, if you'd like to come up. I believe you already received an envelope with another small piece of paper on it last year. Yeah, it's already gone, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's come on through. Next, I want to talk about the 2016 Doctoral Dissertation Award winner, John Molina. His bachelor's degree was from Technion in math, followed by a master's at Tel Aviv in theoretical biology, and a PhD at McMaster in mathematical biology under the supervision of David Earn. His distinguishing feature is that he's just finished a one-year postdoc at University of Pennsylvania, and now he's got a sort of 2-year postdoc but split between 2 places on 2 different continents, and you'll have to explain to me how that works. One's at the International Institute of Applied Systems Analysis in Vienna, and the other's at Princeton. And his citation states that he's remarkable in depth of scholarship and the relevance to policy and public health, and also talks about his creativity and ingenuity. So, Kai, if you could come on up. Next, I want to talk about the Early Career Award. We had 2 Early Career Award winners this year. Ben Adcock both gave their public lecture today. Ben Adcock received his plaque at the end of that lecture. But the second Early Career Award winner to speak, they were tied, but the second to speak was Hao-Tian Wang from the University of Toronto, and I guess now at Duke. And he received his PhD in 2011 at Princeton, but he also was already both a medical doctor and a radiologist. He's been working on results in signal processing with medical implications, and his signal processing results use deep results from geometry, harmonic analysis, and statistics to bear on issues of medical importance and biomedical significance. So, Hao-Tian, if you could come up. How Ten Wu, I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. Last but not least, the field's CAIMS Industrial Mathematics Prize goes to Zhenjing or John Chen for his seminal contributions in flow through a porous media with an application to enhanced oil recovery and work involving better extraction of heavy oil. This work is both mathematically and computationally beautiful and of vital importance to both the economic and environmental development of our country. And it's my great pleasure to invite you up to get your award. Now I'd like to invite Graham Fairweather up to say a few words about Pat Keast, who passed away recently.
I'm very pleased to have a few moments to talk about two members of the community who died almost exactly 1 year ago, Pat Keast and John Borwine. And you may wonder why I'm here. Well, I'm actually a member of CAIMS. I joined CAIMS in 1980 and have attended meetings on and off. And I happen to know both John, or his family, and Pat Keast. So let's go back to the early 1960s. This presentation will not be as long as Peter Lancaster because it's just gone back 50 years. But back in the early 60s at the University of St Andrews, I was an undergraduate and I had two lecturers in mathematics. One was Peter Fantham, who left St Andrews about 1963 and went to the University of Toronto. And his wife Elaine became a very distinguished professor at Princeton in classics. And on National Public Radio, she was often interviewed, especially on a Saturday morning. What about the other person? The other person was David Borwine. And in fact, I think both the Borwine brothers were born in St Andrews. And at that time, there was one PhD student in mathematics. And that was Bruce Scheuer, who moved with David Borwine to Western and then ultimately to Memorial. So I first met Pat Keast in 1964 when he joined the mathematics department as an assistant lecturer. Now he turned down an opportunity to go to Cambridge because he knew that St Andrews was a better institution, and I'm sure you all agree. But the point was, back at that time, there were very few PhD students. I mean, Pat was doing a PhD while being an assistant lecturer. He started in 1964 and completed his degree in 1967. And we were academic brothers. We were both students of Ron Mitchell. And initially, when Pat arrived, he treated me and my colleague Brian Shaw very suspiciously. After all, he was on the staff, and well, we were quite different because we wore jackets, and we also wore ties. And if you know Pat, when did you see him with a jacket and tie? And speaking of dress, I'm often reminded of Pat I may wonder what this is. But I don't know if you've seen these ads recently about Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Pat was decades ahead. I've seen this. This was in an airline magazine. This was somewhere else. This was in US News Today. And every time I see this, I think, Pat, you really missed out. Instead of cycling, you should have been in the shirt business. But Pat and I, grew together because, well, we were students of Ron Mitchell. Subsequently, we built houses on the same street in St Andrews. He was in number 15, Spottiswoode Gardens, I think it was, and we were in 31. And well, we were higher class, although he was on the staff. Maybe. We had a telephone. I mentioned this yesterday in my talk. We had a telephone. He didn't, and kind of shared it in a way. But when I went to Rice in, I think it was 66, came back in 67, Pat had no interest in going to the United States, and he went to Toronto in 68, came back in 69. I moved to Rice permanently in 69, and he moved to Toronto in 1970. And after that, we kept in touch all the time, visited, we started working together, and we did a lot of good things, including research. But he was, an extremely talented person, and he had talents that you probably don't know about. So, let me tell you about Pat's ability as a limerickist. He never missed an opportunity to compose a limerick. And as youngsters, we were very ambitious. We felt that we should write a book on numerical analysis. So we decided, well, every chapter should begin with a limerick related to the material in the chapter. Well, the limerick survived. The book never came to anything at all. But I thought you'd like to hear the limericks that Pat composed for 4 of the chapters. Okay? See if you can guess what they're going to be. Here's number 1. A mathematician named Gauss had an argument once with his spouse. We credit creation of Gauss elimination when she threw him then out of the house. I should say that I have a printout here, and it's dated Friday, October the 4th, 1985. Okay, here's another one. When Euler asked Colin Maclaurin, "What have you, young man, in your sparring? It's a problem quite serious, an infinite series, whose sum I must compute the morn." That was the integration chapter. Okay, a simple eigenvalue named psi was perturbed by a small amount, phi. The change was sufficient to make its eigenvector deficient and the condition of its matrix quite high. You would have thought he had better things to do. But once, this is number 4. We were going to have more chapters, but I guess we ran out of it. There was once a young lady named Kate who wrote to her boyfriend named Nate, but he could not understand her illegible hand and had to learn to interpolate. So that was, Pat had other, and usually they were always very clean, and that was the way Pat was. But I certainly enjoyed my association with Pat. It stretched over well over 50 years. And we had lots of fun in collaboration. I don't think we ever had a dispute. And in the old days when we had to exchange drafts of papers by courier or mail, there were 2 things that we tried to do. One was, we always tried to include the word efficacy in the paper. And the other thing was, that each would put something really ridiculous in the middle of a paper just to see if the other one read it. So now I'm going to try to do something I've never done before, and my wife may be a little concerned about this, but, you know, Pat, as I've indicated, was great at limericks. But he made up the words of a song. I don't know what why he did this. And, but anyway, it's actually a Scottish song. It's about porridge. And I didn't realize just how much he hated porridge. So he actually put these are words to the music of Scots Wahey. And many people have heard of Scots Wahey or Wallace. Okay, well, join in. So I'm going to try to sing the 5 verses of this. If you want to leave right now. But this is really quite remarkable. And so are the words. So here it is. Scots whate'er the world has led, Scots whae been porridge fed, Scots who face the day with dread, porridge makes me bold. Now's the time to eat your gruel, goodness mother can be cruel. Eat your food and get to school. Why can't we hae Kellogg's? And mind my mum say, it's my fault, I forgot to pit and salt. It hardly helped when we were told the English eat it that way. The world is full of Scottish men who've forsaken hearth, home and glen. We'll never eat porridge again, Kirk Nation tastes much better. So dinna talk of Scottish food, or I may utter something rude. Haggis and neeps and porridge should be kept for English tourists. One last word. Pat would have hated this. And I'm sure he's saying, why are they doing this? You know, they've got better things to do. And they do. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'd like to invite Luciano and Ray up. And I would like to thank Chun Yi, who's been filming our proceedings every day very competently, so thank you, Chun Yi.
Well, I've been asked to provide some closing ceremony for the event tonight, so I plan to do that. Although I must say, Graham, you're a hard act to follow. So this is a bit of a tribute to, everybody who's part of CAIMS and who's here present with us now in body, and also those who are with us in spirit. I always wanted to get drafted by somebody in the NHL, so I get this idea of putting on the t-shirt before. Drafted by Dalhousie once upon a time. Oh, the night that Paddy Murphy died is a night I'll never forget. Some of the boys got loaded drunk and they ain't got sober yet. As long as the bottle was passed around, every man was feeling gay. O'Leary came with the bagpipes, the music for to play. That's how they showed their respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how they showed our honor and our pride. They said it was a sin and shame, and they winked at one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Well, Mrs. Murphy sat in the corner pouring out her grief. Kelly and his gang came tearing down the street. They went into an empty room and a bottle of whiskey stole. They kept that bottle with the corpse to keep that whiskey cold. That's how we showed our respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how we showed our honor and our pride. They said it was a sin and shame, and they winked at one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. At 2 o'clock in the morning, after emptying the jug, Doyle lifts up the icebox lid to see poor Paddy's mug. They stopped the clock so Mrs. Murphy couldn't tell the time. And at 2:15, we argued it was 9. That's how we showed our respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how we showed our honor and our pride. They said it was a sin and shame, and they winked at one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Well, we parked the hearse on George Street on South Dance Saloon. We all dragged her in at 8:30 and staggered out at noon. We went up to the graveyard, so holy and sublime, and found out when we got there, we'd left the corpse behind. That's how we showed our respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and our pride. They said it was a sin and shame, and they winked at one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Well, the night that Paddy Murphy died is a night I'll never forget. Some of the boys got loaded drunk and they ain't got sober yet. As long as the bottle was passed around, every man was feeling gay. O'Leary came with the bagpipes, the music for to play. That's how they showed their respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame, and they winked at one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Yes, every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died.
See everyone next year at Ryerson.